Coming up tonight on SLU News 22.
Trouble on Skid Row.
New House of Cards.
Google goes mobile.
The Lady Billikens take on VCU.
Plus national news and weather. Live from the Busch Student Center, this is SLU News 22.
Good evening. I'm Gabriel J. Gollub.
And I'm Sean Boyle.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Nigerian Islamic terrorist organization Boko Haram released a new video on Monday of two prisoners' beheadings. Both prisoners confessed to spying for the police. The video was tweeted out by ISIS-affiliated Twitter accounts. The video was produced in the same style as other ISIS videos. Furyan Khan, the editorial director of Terrorism Research and Analysis Consortium, says, quote, "This latest release shows Boko Haram is not a mere copycat of ISIS. Rather, it is incorporating itself into the Islamic State." End quote. This is another sign of the Boko Haram's growing allegiance to ISIS.
3 Los Angeles police officers shot and killed a man Sunday afternoon in LA's Skid Row. According to a video that has since become viral, the homeless man struggled with one of the officer's weapons before what seemed to be the clicking of a stun gun and 5 shots ringing out. LAPD Commander Andrew Smith reported that the officers were responding to a report of a robbery and used lethal force after a stun gun was ineffective. Smith also stated that the department was aware of the video and plans to enhance and analyze it as a part of the investigation.
Chief Meteorologist Annie Eveker is in the Weather Center right now with our first forecast. So Annie, tell us what we're looking forward to tonight.
Well, tonight it's going to be in the low 30s, but as you're looking outside right now, it is also in the mid-30s with 35 degrees in St. Louis, 36 in Belleville, 35 in Waterloo, 35 in St. Charles, 36 in Chesterfield, and 33 in Highland, going down to 34 in Sparta. And as you're looking outside right now, it's 35, and tonight it's going to and get go into tomorrow morning, and we may see some showers tomorrow. Looking in for the weather story later, we're going to look at warm temperatures on Tuesday and cold front bringing in storms midweek with the weather warming up for the weekend. So the weekend should be very nice, and that's what you're looking at this week.
Thanks, Annie. The Iraqi army used artillery and airstrikes Monday in an effort to reclaim disputed areas of Iraq from ISIS fighters. A force of 27,000 were attacking areas outside of Tikrit. Iraq's military said it still hadn't entered Tikrit, but militants have been dislodged from some areas outside of the city. The Pentagon was aware of the operation, but the U.S. military was not involved. The city has been ISIS control since last summer.
Nina Pham, a 26-year-old nurse who contracted Ebola while caring for a patient, has filed a suit against her employer, Texas Health Resources, for failing to develop policies and train staff for Ebola treatment. Last fall, Pham was the first person to contract the disease within the United States and claims that Texas Health Resources has not been forthcoming about what occurred during the incident. She continues to face a number of issues regarding her health and career and hopes that the lawsuit will provide a way for her to address them, as well as educate healthcare providers about the appropriate precautions when dealing with Ebola and other deadly diseases.
2 days after North Korean leader Kim Jong-un reportedly told his army to prepare for war with the United States and its allies, North Korea fired 2 short-range missiles off of its east coast. The missiles were fired without any no-sail zone designated. North Korea frequently tests short-range missiles off the coast as part of military drills. The United Nations has imposed sanctions restricting North Korea from using ballistic missile technology.
A Tennessee native and Korean War veteran will be laid to rest Friday. Army Private First Class Lachi J.R. Jones will be laid to rest at Chattanooga National Cemetery. Jones' remains were found by Chinese forces in 1954, but were initially misidentified as another soldier. In 2014, the Joint POW/MIA Accounting Command's Central identifying laboratory determined that resources to identify the remains now exists. The remains were exhumed in July 2014 and were identified through chest radiographs, dental records, and skeletal remains. Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam declared a day of mourning for Friday, also ordering flags to be flown at half-staff to remember Jones.
Coming up next, your SLU area news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The Partnership for a Healthier America and SLU have teamed up to ensure a more health-conscious SLU campus. The PHA has made a 3-year commitment to create more beneficial nutrition guidelines for on-campus food services, as well as develop more physical activity programs for students and faculty. SLU's Vice President of Development, Kent Porterfield, said, quote, "By encouraging and supporting opportunities for our students to learn about sound nutrition and engage in physical activity, we are investigating in their success and making our campus a healthier environment," end quote. SLU is one of 25 other universities in this movement, with over 600,000 college students and 200,000 faculty members expected to participate in the program.
Dr. Lisa Eve Farnington will present A Crisis of Race and Sex, Black Feminist Art on Wednesday, March 4th in the BSC, room 253C at 4 p.m. She will discuss the women's art movement in the 1970s and the challenges that Black women face during this time will be discussed as well. Dr. Farrington is the founding chair of John Jay College's Art and Music Development, as well as accomplished curator, author, and art historian. In 2010, she won the coveted Creative Capital Writers Award from the Andy Warhol Foundation. A reception will follow after the talk. This event is sponsored by the Departments of African American Studies, Art History, and Women's and Gender Studies.
Comedian and host of AMC's Talking Dead, Chris Hartwick, is coming to the pageant on Friday, March 13th. The show starts at 8 p.m. and tickets cost $37. Hartwick started his career as the co-host of MTV's Singled Out, and since then has starred in multiple horror films and launched his own website, Nerdist.com. In addition to hosting The Talking Dead, Hardwick also hosts the Nerdist podcast and a weeknight game show at midnight on Comedy Central. For more information, please visit thepageant.com.
As of March 1st, Marion McLennan, MD, is the new chair of the St. Louis University's Department of Obstetrics, Gynecology, and Women's Health. McLennan is recognized locally and internationally as leader in her field and has been principal investigator and co-investigator on numerous research grants. She has also been the professor with SLU since 1999 and is a gynecologist with a SLU Care Physician Group.
Governor Jay Nixon's task force released new stadium and property renderings for the proposed NFL stadium on the St. Louis riverfront today. The news release states that the renderings reflect input received over the past 7 weeks from the NFL and the Rams, as well as stakeholders in the project. Today, 5 new consultants were named to join the Nixon team, which is tasked with keeping the Rams in St. Louis, as well as enhancing the Edward Jones Dome and America Center's facility. The task force leaders, Dave Peacock and Bobby Billets, will bring their expertise and experience to the task force. They have been working on the project since November. Peacock said in the release that assembling the best in-class consultants is further evidence of the group's sincerity to keep the Rams in St. Louis and keep the progress the group has already made.
Starting today, all visitors to the Gateway Arch need a ticket to enter the Arch facility. Due to the renovation of the Museum of Westward Expansion, the number of people that can safely be in the monument has been lowered. The ticket policy will help the National Park Service regulate how many people are in the arch at one time. A Journey to the Top ticket top ticket will be $10 for adults and $5 for kids 3 to 15. This ticket includes a tram ride to the top and admission to the film monument to the Dream. An arch entry only ticket will be $3 for adults and free to kids. This ticket only includes the film. Tickets can be purchased online at ticketsforthearch.com, by phone at 877-982-1410, or in person at the old courthouse.
Coming up next, your work week forecast. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Meteorologist Andy Eveker is here with us now for our extended week forecast. So Andy, tell us, is the snow going to continue?
Sadly, no, the snow is not going to continue. It's going to get warmer tomorrow, and then it's going to start raining, and then it might get a little snowy into the rest of midweek maybe, and then it'll warm up for the weekend. So we're looking at a really nice weekend. And as we're looking outside, our current conditions are 35. It was a low of 22 today, and with a wind chill of 31. So that's what we're looking at right now. And the storm track, while we got such beautiful weather today, we had a low front come in and that brought the snow, and now it's moving on to the east coast. We have a high pressure system into our area right now. And then looking into tomorrow, we have clouds coming in. As you can see, you probably saw it in the afternoon today. We had some clouds come in. Later on, our storm track for the United States, we had that low system come in, and it's now on the east coast bringing snow and clouds over there. And if we're looking into the west coast, we have a low pressure system over here, and it's going to move into our area tomorrow. So this is what we're looking at tomorrow, and it's going to bring the warm system, so warm temperatures for tomorrow, and then it's going to come back with the low front, and it's going to get cold into the rest of the week. So Monday's weather, tonight we're going to have 31 degrees with a chance of rain later into tonight and early tomorrow morning. And Tuesday, it's going to be rain with chances of snow later on into the day. It's going to be 50, so it's going to be rainy and 50. And then the 5-day forecast for the rest of the week, we have 50 degrees for the day on Tuesday, and it's going to get very cold into tonight, or later on into the night into Tuesday, and maybe chances of snow. And Wednesday, it's going to be low of 25 and cloudy, and then Thursday is going to be sunny on 27. Friday is going to be 42 and sunny, and then 50 is looking beautiful with 50 degrees, partly cloudy. So it's going to be a great weekend.
Good. I'm very glad this snow is completely over now.
Right. We're kind of getting into spring weather,
yes.
Which it's March, so it might come in like a lion and out like a lamb, hopefully. But you never know with St. Louis weather.
Absolutely. Yes. We really do have a great taste of Midwest weather this week, going from 20 to 50 and back to 20 and 50 again.
It's going to be a roller coaster of temperatures this week, so
yeah.
Just range it every day.
Yes. Up next, a look into the wonderful world of sports and entertainment. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Netflix released the 3rd season of their award-winning series House of Cards this past Friday. While Netflix continues to expand its original programming selection, including a 3rd season of the award-winning series Orange is the New Black. A new company will allow viewers to experience the show in a more personal way. Look Live, a website and app that will launch in April, shows viewers where to purchase the different wardrobe pieces worn by the characters in your favorite TV shows, as well as the cost of each piece. The company used House of Cards to show off the service, but you will have to wait until April to see the service for yourself.
Google announced today that it wants to enter the wireless arena like Sprint or T-Mobile. However, one of Google's main objectives is to bring the internet and cell service to some of the 4 billion people who lack access to the web. One way Google plans to do this is by sending balloons into the sky as floating cell towers, in addition to a fleet of solar-powered drones that it plans to launch later this year. While this would be a departure from Google's foundation as a search engine, Google is already involved in the mobile phone industry as the creator of the Nexus phones and the owner of the Android operating system.
Last week, Facebook began their new program that is aimed at helping users who may be suicidal. Users will be able to report a post which will be reviewed by a third party who will then send a private message to the poster that a friend thought they may be having a hard time. Upon receiving the special message, the user will be given options including reaching out to a friend, being connected with someone from the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and viewing lists of different tips for users who are going through tough times. However, earlier this month, a study was released that showed heavy Facebook use caused depression for a significant percent of the population.
SLU men's basketball team falls to Georgia Mason, 78-50 Saturday night at the Chaffetz Arena. SLU is now 11-18 on the season and 3-13 in conference play. The 28-point loss is the largest margin of defeat at Chaffetz Arena. Guards Davil Robbie and Reggie Gabecco tied for the team high, scoring 10 points each. Robbie had a game-high 3 steals. St. Louis is back in action on Wednesday night at Chaffetz Arena when they host the St. Bonaventure Tip. Tip-off is at 7 and the game will be televised on Fox Sports Midwest.
The Vancouver Canucks beat the St. Louis Blues in a shootout 5-4 last night. The Blues fought to get back in the game when they were down 5-2 early in the third period. Blues head coach Ken Hitchcock was very impressed on how the Blues never gave up when dealing with adversity, saying, quote, "A lesser team would have folded it up. But we came back and pounded on it hard into the third period, and then we should have won it in overtime. We played a whale of a hockey game. We did a heck of a job." End quote. The Blues are still holding the number 3 spot in the Western Conference with a 40-18 record. The Blues will travel to Philadelphia Thursday to face the Flyers when the puck will drop at 6 p.m.
The St. Louis University women's basketball team is the number 9 seed and will play the number 8 seed Virginia Commonwealth University in the second round of the Atlantic 10 Conference Women's Basketball Championship, Thursday, March 5th. Tip-off is at 10:30 a.m. in Richmond, Virginia. The Billikens will go into the tournament with a 14-15 record. The matchup is a rematch between the two, who last played on January 12th. The Rams beat the Billikens 59-54. The winner of the SLU-VCU game will face the number of 1-seeded George Mason on the quarterfinals Friday, March 6th. The Billikens gave George Mason their only loss in the conference when they won 79-61. For more information on the Atlantic 10 Championship, visit www.atlantic10.com.
On the topic of whales, in reference to the quote from Ken Hitchcock, around 200 whales have stranded themselves in the month of February on New Zealand's southern island called Farewell Spit. At least 24 of the whales have died. Scientists have long been puzzled about why the whales keep beaching themselves on Farewell Spit's sand. One theory is that the shallow waters around the spit somehow interfere with the whale's sense of direction. At least 680 whales have died on Farewell Island since records have been kept. So, Annie, would you want to show us the 5-week forecast again in case our viewers missed it?
Of course, the 5-week forecast, we're looking at great weather this week. It's going to be 51 tomorrow, chances of rain, changing into snow maybe early into Wednesday morning. It's going to be sunny and 27 and sunny and 42 on Thursday and Friday, and then going into the weekend it's going to be 50 and partly cloudy on Saturday. So it's going to be a great weekend if you're looking to get outside and just enjoy the weather.
Definitely a great start for spring break.
Yes, yes. Well, that's our show for tonight. Thank you for watching.
Don't forget, you can always get movies and latest movie reviews and news online at slutv.slu.edu or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We will be back here next time. We will not be here next week as it is spring break, but you will be able to catch us again 2 weeks from today at 6 p.m.